Where are we? We're in the stage of participation. Where's push trying to push you to the stage of control?
Two more children killed this week. Two more children's lives wiped out. I know we need a whole village to save our children and to raise our children, but we need a new village because the present village is sick. And God is saying, I no longer hear the laughter of my children, but I'm hearing the screams of their blood. I'm hearing the sound of their mother's tears. And God is upset, and he's looking for a remnant of people that are upset with him. We have learned to save the whales. We have learned to save the elephants. It's time to save our children. It's time to save our children. We are in an emergency state where violence has become part of the culture of our day, where guns have become part of America's wardrobe, and the killing of our children is a weekly headline in Chicago and cities across this nation. We are in an emergency state, and an emergency state needs emergency workers to do something about it. It needs emergency workers who are ready to move beyond the tears, who are ready to move beyond the grief, who are not going to be overwhelmed by the problem, but decide that they are going to restore the community. They're going to rebuild the walls, and they are going to heal the land. Most of us in here know something about Chicago. In Chicago, the Chicago River used to flow out into Lake Michigan. But as the city grew, the sewage and the pollution of the river began to contaminate the drinking water of Lake Michigan. So in 1990, the city fathers decided to build some locks, and they decided to reverse the flow of the Chicago River into the Chicago Sanitary Canal. They decided they were going to reverse the current. Say reverse the current. Say reverse the current. They decided they were going to reverse the current in order to purify the waters of Lake Michigan so we could drink clean water. Well, brothers and sisters, that is the task that is before us today. You see, the sewage and the pollution of today's society is contaminating our communities in which we live. And it is creating an unhealthy condition for our neighborhoods, an unhealthy condition for our families, an unhealthy condition for our elders, and most importantly, an unhealthy condition for our children. The sewage of no health care for too many people in our country is contaminating our society. The sewage of a failed education system, while children go to school, but they don't learn anything. Or if they go to college, they come out with a $60,000 debt, and they still can't get a job. It's polluting our society. The pollution of foreclosure on too many of our homes, and unequal playing fields, where we're still fighting about minimum wage instead of demanding living wage so everybody that goes to work can support their family. It is polluting our society. It is polluting our conditions for our families to grow up in. And the sewage of music that chooses to demean and denigrate women in the name of entertainment is polluting our lives. And we have to get to the point of saying, you don't have to sing about our women being bees and hoes in order to get music out in our communities.
Yeah, that's right. Go ahead.
We got to take on the industry that is bankrolling this kind of garbage. We got to take on the rappers that are using this kind of lyrics in order to sell their CDs. And we got to take on the consumers that are buying this and supporting it and continuing to make Viacom rich while our women are disrespected day in and day out in our society. We got to stop listening to trash. We are living in a society that is polluted, that allows a John Burge to live in freedom in Florida, while life after life that is broken and still held captive by the act of torture, both those in prison and even the brokenness of those that have come out of prison. That is polluting our lives, and it cannot be allowed. And John Burge needs to go to jail. John Burge needs to get out of Florida and get into a penitentiary. And let me say this, just one comment on that. The federal government needs to step up. If statute of limitations are done here, the federal government needs to step up. And every single person that went to jail under John Burge ought to have a new trial, a new hearing, a new opportunity to come without duress, to come without torture, to tell the truth.